Beads, hat trick for you tonight. You guys clinch a playoff berth. What was the mindset going into tonight's game?
Just our systems, right? Stick to our process, do what we do well, stay process focused. But in this league, it's a outcome-based business, right? Got to get wins, and we knew it was on the line. Ottawa's a very great team. They've been hot recently, so knew we needed to play hard, and everyone, I think, dug in tonight, and you saw a great effort from the whole group.
Yeah, they were close the whole way, kept it close, right? Felt like a playoff game. What can you take away from this one going down the stretch?
Just to be process focused. We want to play 5 minutes at a time, invest in every shift, invest in the grind, not get frustrated when we don't see the results, right? Kind of that chopping down the tree attitude. Might not knock it down with the first 10 swings, but 11, 12, 13 are going to really do some damage. So, yeah, just really being process focused, and then, just playing for the guy next to you.
You guys look really confident tonight. How confident are you just offensively at this point of the season?
Really confident. I mean, the chemistry's been growing ever since the start of the year, and it's been a game-by-game growth thing. And, it's really a paradox that you get closer with your team towards the end of the season because it gets close to the end, right? And it's just fun. We're all playing for each other. There's a lot of smiles when we do have success, but then, even in those frustrating moments, there's a lot of support and a lot of picking up the guy next to you, and knuckles, hey, good try there, good take. And I think that positive self-talk and that team talk goes a long way.
Since Curt's been here, you guys have found ways to win games near the end of the season. Just what can you say about your group's ability to win these tough games against these top teams?
Yeah, just staying focused on the play in front of you, playing where your feet are. Don't change, whether it's your 50th shift down the fourth quarter stretch and it's a big one, whether it's your first one, right? You just want to grind, invest, make good plays, keep your feet moving, and really impressed with the boys' ability to stick to the process tonight.
Well, how much have Dixon and King helped the offense?
It's incredible. Alluding back to my previous answer there, like they really bring high IQ, a lot of talk on the bench, and just can learn from them, right? Like Jesse, Curtis, like they practice so hard, and the way that they approach this game, it's just like you can really learn from the great guys around you, and their careers speak for themselves. And yeah, it's just been a treat having them, and glad Curt went out and got them.
Do you think Keegan Bal is still underrated among the rest of the players in the NLL?
Yeah, I mean, we think he's the best in the world, but I'll leave that for lacrosse media to decide that.
How important were those 3 power plays to start the third quarter to set you guys up for the second half?
Yeah, I mean, our power play is clicking at a pretty high percentage, so always a good thing we can get that group out there. And, it's a selfless group. No one cares who scores, so just taking what the defense gives us, that best opportunity, and, yeah, we made them count tonight, which was good.
Yeah, what were you seeing tonight with 3 goals for yourself?
I mean, their defense was good. They're big, they're physical, they're strong. They were packing it a little bit, so wanted to shoot a few more outside shots to kind of stretch them, make them play honest. And I think we approached with a good mix of outside shots, inside grind, and playing off ball as well. So, good defense. Higgy played really well, got to tip the cap to their goalie, and yeah, we just stuck to our process, and eventually they fall.
And then can you talk to me about the conversation on the bench when you're going on that back and forth, tying up, down? What was it like there?
Yeah, I mean, our main message is don't change, right? So playing where your feet are, getting ready for your next shift, and, certain moments of the game, you really got to lean in. We need everyone's best effort, and I think really saw that tonight. And then just the conversation on the bench, like I said, are really positive. We're supporting one another. We're sharing the information that we see out there, so in case we need to make adjustments. And, yeah, just a collaborative effort tonight.
And it might have been the green beer, the luck of the Irish, but your fans were going off tonight. How did that help you guys out on the field?
It's electric. I mean, they really fuel our energy. How loud they were after that baller goal to take the lead was pretty incredible. And then just like, even when they're just cheering for like tough ground ball, tough plays, and yeah, it just really fuels you, and you can just like feel them pushing behind you, and it's really incredible. So can't thank them enough.
Awesome.
Keegan, that was in a close one all the way, but you guys clinch a playoff berth. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's big. Obviously, that's the first step. Any year when you set out, that's the first goal. Now, I think the next goal is to have a home playoff game that first weekend, and obviously just as high as we can get in the standings, so we can play in front of our home crowd for as long as possible.
What was the mindset coming into tonight?
This was a playoff game for us. That's just how we treated it. I mean, they're a really good team. They play kind of an old school brand of lacrosse, very hard-nosed, really tough defense, good goalie, and then obviously offensive star power on the other side.
Keegan, just what do you have to say about your team's ability to win a gritty game, especially at this point in the season?
Yeah, I mean, those are the games that you really need to win. Just proud of the group for staying super resilient. We were positive on the bench the entire time. You know, they tied up a few times in the fourth quarter, and it was never like angst or a feeling of we might not get it done.
I know you're a big Kobe Bryant fan, and were you channeling your inner Mamba mentality in the fourth quarter there?
Yeah, I mean, I took some ill-advised shots. I think I was like shoot till you're hot sort of thing. And I just, you know, I thought one might fall, and it did.
What do you like? What do you like about the way you guys are trending, progressing?
Yeah, I think we're winning a bunch of different types of games, and I think that's really important. We're gonna have a lot of close games down the stretch, and you know, hopefully we make a deep playoff run. And all those games we know are gonna be super tight, so it's good to win in a variety of ways.
You guys haven't had as much success at home as you've had on the road. Mm-hmm. How important is it to rectify that? Extremely
important. I mean, you have to protect home floor. Obviously, we're playing down the stretch for a home playoff game. So it's something that we were really good at last year. And I think we just let a few games slip away from us earlier in the year, but I think good things at home for the rest of the year.
How important were those power plays to start the third quarter to give you guys a little bit of separation in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think they had four power plays in the first half. It was 4-0. I felt like the refs missed some calls, but it happens. That's lacrosse. It's a quick game. And so to get a few early on and just to get the ball moving for us was big.
Can you talk about Delbs's play down the stretch there?
Yeah, I mean, he's the best goalie in the world. I think I've said it ad nauseum since he's been here. I have the privilege to shoot on him every week. Been doing that for a long time. We work on shootouts quite a bit, so I knew he was going to stop it.
And can you kind of talk about what the message was on the bench while you were going on that back and forth of being tied, going up, going down?
Yeah, just stay even keeled. Focus on process because, you know, we have so much talent in our room, and we know that if the game's tight, we have a lot of people who can step up in big moments and put the ball in the net.
And what did it mean to you to have that 9th goal right there? You did a nice sneak kick, Sully, and then got the crowd on their feet.
Yeah, I mean, you play to win. It's a team game. I didn't really care who scored it. I was just so happy to go ahead with a small amount of time because we have such a good defense, and obviously we have Delbs, so that felt nice.
Yeah. Okay. Coach, you guys clinch a playoff berth tonight. What does it mean to you?
It means the world to us. You know, we start early November, and that's kind of your first goal is to make the playoffs, and you know, to be able to clinch at home in front of our fans. We hadn't played great this season. You know, now we're 4-3 at home, and we want to just kind of keep it rolling. But it's just awesome for all of British Columbia, and we're grateful to be part of the organization, and super proud of our guys in that room. It's not an easy task to do what we've been doing, and night in and night out, and they lay it on the line. They sacrifice for each other, and that we continue to build that trust. So tonight was a huge win for the organization and massive win for our guys in that room. That was 12 games in 11 weeks, and that's tough, and that's good perseverance for all of them. It was excellent.
It looked like tonight failure was not an option, just watching the play out there. Is that how it felt to you, coaching?
Well, I wouldn't say you don't think once in a while when they go on a bit of a run, but we got some good things in place. We got a good veteran core that locks it down on the back end, and then we trust a lot in Christian. Let's be honest, like he's outstanding again tonight at 84%. I think he was somewhere in there, and to make that pass to Dixon, which turned out to be one of the big goals late in the game there, outside of Keegan's was huge. So it's just there's ebbs and flows of the game, and we just have to stay with it. That's the biggest thing is our resiliency, and they got a world class guy over there in Teton. It's really tough to stop, and they take their defense and they put 5 guys inside what we perceive to be the old school dotted line, which is really hard to score on, and their goalie's pretty elite too. So I just like our resilience and the fact that we stuck to it and hit our shots when we needed to.
What does a game like this do for your confidence going into the playoffs? Because it felt like a playoff game tonight.
Yeah, you know what? Like I said after the game, you put another scar on the body in a way. It's always a battle every night, and there's lessons learned when you win, and there's lessons learned that we take away from when we lose. So I think it was really big tonight that to get that win in a tight game when they kept on coming back and they wouldn't go away. And we started the third quarter really well, and then they battled back, but we just stuck with it and got one late. So it's something that you kind of build on because that's the way the playoffs are. Very rarely do you see in the playoffs had a team mop somebody up in a game. It's always tight, especially the first round of the playoffs. So we play those as like one and dones, and we didn't want to back our way into the playoffs. We want to earn our way in, and the guys did that tonight.
What can you say about Keegan Bal's performance tonight? He's almost reached his career high at 112 points. I think he's just a few points shy of that, and he's got 3 regular season games left.
It's amazing. You know, he got the game ball tonight, and I think every week he could probably get the game ball. I think he had 3 goals and 5 assists out of our 10. It's just a special player, and when I first got here, he could hit his shots, and he's got great feet. But getting to the middle of the floor now, he's fearless. He goes right down the pipe, and he knows he's going to get hit, and he leads by example. And he scored some real big goals for this club. Despite all the points that he's got some big ones. And tonight being the winning goal and getting us into the playoffs, he had an excellent effort, and it was nice to be able to give him the ball because he's one of those guys you kind of purposely overlook because he just goes about and does his job and doesn't want any accolades. But tonight, he full marks for earning it.
Since you've been here, this team's found ways to win in March and end of the season. Just what do you have to say about your team's ability to win these tough games at the end of the year when teams are fighting for playoff lives?
Well, to be truthful, it's a testament to the guys. You really do build an organization on trust and culture. You really build it with guys that have won championships. You're fortunate enough to have that, and we're super fortunate to have a lot of guys that have won cups and want to come to Vancouver, and that's just a testament to our organization. They give us all the tools to be successful. They treat the guys extremely well. They're such a humble family. They took us all out for dinner in San Diego, and I don't know many owners in the National Lacrosse League that have ever done that, and that goes a long way. They genuinely care about us, and I think our guys pour that back into their play on the floor and then their commitment off the floor. And I really do think if you put a good group of men together that know what it takes to be successful, you can do some great things. So we're just going to continue to build on it, and we're super happy that we made the playoffs this year. But again, a testament to the players and the organization, no question.
What do you want to see the rest of the run? What do you need to see?
Well, we need to rest. Like, we're banged up. A lot of guys probably could have took the night off, and like I said, it's 12 games in 11 weeks, and we played. I think in the Toronto game, I think we played 3 games in 6 days or something like that. It's really difficult. So we're going to heal up, and we got an amazing staff, and with Karen and Sakib and Kev and Holtzy and all them, and Ernie. It's really, really good. So they'll keep the guys together over the next few weeks. But we have a tough one going to Buffalo. That's somewhere that we got pounded last year in the playoffs. So we try not to look too far down the line. Obviously, the next goal is to get a home playoff game. That was something we're looking at? But I think we just, we saddle up for Buffalo, and we're going to play. They're going to be fighting to get in. If they're not already in by then, they probably will be. But playing the champs in their rink in one of the last 3 games of the season is going to be a test for us. And we've done really well in our tests, especially on the road. And that's another one. We'll see how we do.
What type of things do you want to see at home? What'd you like tonight about playing at home?
Well, the obvious one is Stevie is the fans. Like, it's huge. Like in that fourth quarter when they're going, we end up getting a flag. Tirish does a great job, and Cogs, and we get that flag, and it changes momentum. The crowd's going nuts. Or when we think we score and it gets hits the back of the net, they're still going nuts. And when Keegan scored, it was just outstanding. I've never seen it in here like that. I've been to a lot of hockey games, and I know it's pretty cool too. But as far as lacrosse, that topped it, and that's something that I know our guys wanted to do, is get it done. And I think that's a big part. I think I think a situational awareness tonight was better. There was times where the last game I thought that we probably should have been clock aware, understand situation, time, score, and we didn't. But today I think we did. I think we battled hard on the face-off circle. Adler was very good again, and he was well over 50%, which is excellent for us. Yeah, he's stepped the last 2 games. Possession's everything. So I think that was big, and I just think we have a core of really grizzled veterans on the back end. With Mitski and Beers and Dilks and Cornwall, and then we got a good complement of young guys that just they play so hard, and those guys elevate everybody's effort. And we need the young legs, we got them, and when we need the grizzled veterans and to pack it in there, they do. So it's just proud of everybody all over the place, and everyone, just to be honest, to tie it all in, is just do your job. Trust the guy next to you to do theirs.
This is a great event, Tim. In the event you get some playoff success, this place could take another level up as far as excitement.
That's kind of, when I first signed on here in Vancouver with the Aquilini family, that's our dream. That's, we want it to be a mainstream sport, and, all we can do as a coaching staff and the players is try to win games, is try to put a good product on the floor. And I know we have an amazing marketing team. They do a great job. I know they've shifted a few over from the Canucks, which is really, really helpful. And, even when I see some of the Canucks guys down the hallway, they're super supportive. It does really honestly feel like a family. There's no segregation there. So, if the city of Vancouver and the province of British Columbia can get behind us, we'd love it, because it makes a difference. So we're hoping that they just keep coming, especially after seeing a game like that.
Talking about the fans, what it mean to you, like leading up to the playoffs and then going into the playoffs, to have the barn packed like that and even more throughout the next run?
Yeah, you know what? I hope they just keep doing their job, and Jordan does a great job, and Debbie Phillips with our ticketing, and they're excellent. We just got such a selfless staff that really just wants to really work for the front of the shirt and work for the organization. And there's no one that's bigger than the organization. Everyone's so humble and respectful, and super proud to be a part of it, and super fortunate to be a part of it. So and I think our fans really know that. I think the guys leave it all on the floor every single night. I think the fans can appreciate hard work and blue collar effort and just commitment to trying to do what's best for the guy next to him, and I think that they've exemplified that extremely well. And you see how accessible our guys off the floor, and all the fans hanging over. Our guys sit there and sign autographs, and we're just so fortunate to have these fans, and we hope that they can keep coming because they make a difference.
And then thinking back to the start of the season, when you think about the team, what do you think were some of the key factors to lead you into clinching the playoffs?
I think we brought in some goals. I think we had a very good team last year. Obviously, we were fortunate enough to make a trade with Del Bianco, and having him here makes a big difference. And he obviously is the backbone of the team, and then we had a really good defense around him, and and then having these goal scorers when you bring in Dixon and you bring in Jesse King, and you've got Callie's the anchor of the back end to lift from a little bit of younger youth side of things, and then you bring Shane Simpson that can just breakaway speed, and then add everybody else in that we already had. We didn't need a ton, but I felt we needed a little bit more. And I think those guys put us over the edge, and I think that's what gives us an opportunity to be in the playoffs. And the best part of it is they're such selfless guys. It's not like they have to do all the heavy lifting. They trust their teammates to do it, and there's a lot of good camaraderie coming on, and there's a lot of good chemistry happening out there. So the locker room's really tight. I know everybody says that to nauseum, but we have a good room, and they're good people in there, and we just want to stay together longer.